Hello, everybody. Hi, I'm Petra Kuppers, she, her, and I come to you from Anishinaabe territory, colonially known as Ypsilanti, Michigan, a little Rust Belt town in Michigan. And I'm going to read to you today from Diver Beneath the Street. I'm very, very happy to have it as part of StokerCon, so yay. It is a true crime poetry collection which deals with the Michigan murders, the famous Michigan murders from 1968-69, as well as the Detroit serial killer murders that happened in 2019. And it's a form of eco-poetry. So I'm traveling through the land. I'm taking influence and tune with the land. A lot of this is about the soil, diving into the soil. It's a lot about decay, recreation, respect, women's bodies. So I hope you enjoy what I'm going to read to you today. I'm going to start with the bread. The bread, a piece of bread. And it has an epigraph, and the epigraph is, "But was it ever small like that, the first body? Did it ever sit close to the ants and their piles of dirt from which that body had come?" And this epigraph is from Camille Dangy, from The First the Body Was Dirt. So here's the poem. The bread. Smell the moist hunk of it, abandoned by the side of the street near the chiropractor's door. Just step toward it, over to the apple tree. Fermentation is in the air. Look close and see worm wriggle just beneath cheek blush. The bread swells out, pores open, breathful. The bag has burst wetly. White holes and grains spill like dandelion fluff from plastic webs. Cider sour mold stained squashed grass. Follow decay juice down, gravity pulls, to the strata of tiny springtails, hexapod microorganisms, which each squish a chip of white-green mold bread compound down to their caverns, through cave tunnels between loose crumbles of soil. Make friends, wave at her compound eye, see yourself reflected in the last dying light. There you are, so many times as she munches her treasure in peace. A giant earthworm moves by you two, majestic and pink. This coral leaves a round hole for Springtail and you to follow. Earth grows dark. Springtail nods at family deep below, colorless carapace auntie, long having abandoned surface ways. Auntie sisters make a wreath in the round cave, a portal. Will you step through? That fluff of ever greener bread you drag slithers across antennae, translucent torsos where pale hemolymph pumps through the dorsal vessel's thickening pipe. Beyond the portal, a cathedral opens. Phosphorus lights on beetles' back ends reveal a cavern. You scan a ripped vault, earth packed tight as moist clay between bony stays. A rumble ahead. You follow the sound wave with your devolving eyes. Your midline pings out in response. Ears travel inward. Your feet are gone. Deep in the cavern, a skitter, crackle, thump, thump, bass notes, ground beetles, wings long atrophied, scratch against one another in a round heap. A horde, 100 bodies deep and more, constant motion, mandibles out and rasping. The ball resonates against the overhead arcs of ribs. The vault that once housed lungs massages this mass now. Motion, sound, vibrations, a roar in the earth. Transformation. You approach this beat, this push, with your disaggregate of wilted, moldy bread. Drips of vinegary moisture mark the brown earth pack where you crawl until the ball rears right here. Beetle sharpness of waxy chitin, armor, wave at you as they plow under, over, never tire. Jaws that reach deep into the coil of a snail extract a last cling of flesh, leave behind a tiny porcelain jewel between giant vertebrae cemented into the ground. 40 antennae, then 90 mandibles, then too many razor legs reach forward toward you, toward your hand, your tentacle, that sensitive pad, pluck the fuzzy weeping bread mold offering. Metallic clicks mesmerize, then tick over you, the carrier, pluck and pull. You see large beetle eyes close, so close. Antennae caress every micrometer, invite, breathe, recycle, compost, each breath, till you are inside. Embrace. All right. So that was our first journey, all right? So hope that was an interesting journey deep into the earth. Yeah, and here's the second one. The second one I'm going to read to you is something quite local, quite specific, but thought I'd give you a sense of location of Michigan. The Ghost Bridge of Fort Lake. So a lot of what I'm writing about in this is also the horrific, sublime transformation of post-industrial cities, post-industrial areas of toxic brownfields, of the kind of engagement between lands and humans and survivance that is part of where we are here. Ghost Bridge of Fort Lake. And it also has an epigraph, which goes, "No one has driven over the bridge in years, but it is still here on the flats. There, on the bottom of Fort Lake, is where it rests today," writes James Mann, a local historian in MLife. At night, the Fort Lake dam still hums. Hum. Old Hydro buzzes in his sleep, jumps shiver down deformed bullhead catfish spines. Deep beneath, the Sauk Indian Trail remembers souls that anchored river to the land, tramp, climb, traverse, footprints chime from fort to village, trade post, friend. Cyanobacteria now whisper the messages in blue-green sibilants. Spill, spill, this made thing, earth dam, iron suspension, tremble on the land. We will run away and rush and cleanse and sweep away sandstone, metal shavings, fordite scraps of car color lacquered in layers, this palimpsest of racy longings, ram shiny fins in baby blue and rose that parade on Sunday down Depot Town. The factory presses rectangles onto the rusty earth. And workers crawl into chocolate cake segments layered next to the lake. Air intake valves pierce the rain sky. Tonight, close by, the Ypsilanti Ford motor plant lassos a sinus wave of power. Kick the starters, traverse voltage regulators, jump ignition coils. All tune, fish, soil, iron, tiny algae, till brake cylinders caress and channel all energy to the tune. All right, thank you. Thanks for listening for these two poems, a little sense of these true crime writings, both murder cases and changes in land use, and how tropes and metaphors from our favorite genres allow us to access this kind of work. I hope you enjoy the rest of the convention. Happy StokerCon. Bye, everybody.